morning, everybody. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I'm involved in, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is my 57th FlossTube video, and it is Sunday. It's August 16th, the day after my birthday. So yeah, I had my birthday was yesterday. I had a wonderful day with my family. I'll tell you all about it. But I want to say thank you to everyone who sent me birthday wishes this past week and the week before, because I had mentioned that my birthday was coming up. It just really means a lot to me that so many of you take the time to send me a message on Facebook. A couple people instant messaged me on Instagram. Private message me, I guess, not instant message. But it was just really nice that everybody took the time to say happy birthday. And I did have a very happy birthday, so that was great. I'm 55, in case anybody's interested. Yeah, which seems like really, really older than I ever thought I would be. But I am. Here I am. Just as an FYI, I finally, last week, got all of my FlossTube anniversary giveaway gifts out in the mail, except for one, because one person hasn't given me their address. So I have messaged them or attached a couple comments to their message. It's Cameron Cord. If you are watching this video today, please send me your address, because there's a piece of fabric that I would like to send to you. But I still haven't gotten the address for that. But everything else went out. People should have started receiving them already. But if you haven't gotten it, then next week you should get it. And if you don't, then please let me know. Not that there's necessarily anything I can do about it, but maybe I can fix the situation. I had one winner who lives in New Zealand, and she and I were texting back and forth a little bit, because we kind of both decided that postage to New Zealand would be a little bit ridiculous for me to send her a piece of fabric. And so instead of spending the money on the postage, I just got her a small 1, 2, 3 stitch gift card, and because that can be sent via email, and she can order whatever and do the postage that way. And then that piece of fabric, I sent it to Jules from Moonshine Crafter, because she's awesome, and also Allison, who's the girl who actually won, also watches her channel, so I thought that was the best thing to do. I didn't want to go and do a whole new drawing and stuff like that, so I just made the executive decision to send it to Jules, because it was a piece of gray fabric, and she stitches a lot of like spooky type stuff, and I thought she would like it. So anyway, so all of the fabric and the charts are winging their way to you guys, and I hope that you get them soon and that you enjoy them. Okay, so forgive me if I start to glow again. We're having a heat wave here in Southern California, and I really debated about just leaving my air conditioning on and not worrying about the sound quality on the video, but I didn't want it to be really bad sound quality, and so I'm just gonna suffer through it being hot in here. But bear with me if I start to look kind of sweaty, because that's what it is. I mean, I'm a little bit later this morning than I normally am. It's about 9:30 in the morning, basically, because I didn't feel like getting up at 7:30 like I do on Sundays to do my early video. So it's a little bit later, but it has been really hot, like high 90s or above, and it's gonna keep being that way for probably about a week at least. And so yeah, when I was driving to my brother's yesterday, my car should have air conditioning. The air conditioning isn't working, and I haven't had the funds to get that fixed. So I don't have air conditioning in my car, which is, 9 times out of 10 not that big a deal. But when it starts getting really hot in the summer, yeah, it's bad. So I was driving to my brother's yesterday, and it was like 110. And I was in the car, and I had, like, normally I don't keep my windows down when I'm on the freeway because the noise is just terrible. I had to have the window down. I mean, it was just too hot. And then I got couple blocks from his house, and I was like, nope, I have to stop at McDonald's and get an iced tea, because it was just so hot. But I made friends with my nephew Hudson. Not that I needed to bribe him, because he loves me anyway, but I did show up with a Happy Meal, and that's one of his most favorite things in the world. So, so I won amp points yesterday by stopping at McDonald's on the way to my brother's. But so the birthday celebration that I had yesterday, it was a lovely day. We spent, you know, basically just sat around and visited. I stitched, and my niece was doing some diamond painting, and, you know, it was just my nephew, Logan, the older one, he was just on his computer playing Minecraft, and he tends to, like, just zone out and tune everybody out. If things get too loud or too boisterous, he wants to go off by himself. That's his personality. That's great. But he sat there at the table with us and basically, you know, was playing Minecraft and just was physically present. My brother and sister-in-law got me a mini Instapot for my birthday, which was, like, really a nice surprise gift. And they got one, and they use it, like, several times a week and really love it. But they got me a little one, which is great because it's, like, perfect for making, you know, smaller portions and whatever. It doesn't heat up the apartment. So, and they also got me a cookbook that's specifically for that brand and that model. So the recipes are, like, tailored to fit in the smaller one. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm going to take a look at that book today, and, you know, maybe make some plans of decent food to make for myself. The other present that I got, which was, like, so special. So there was 2 boxes wrapped up. There was the big one, and then there was a little flat one on top. And Reagan was like, open the big one first, you know, because the top one's for me. And I'm like, and, you know, just from you? And she's like, yes, just for me. So I opened the Instapot, and then I opened her gift, and it was this artwork that she made me. And she did, and I know that there's a name for this where, like, you put, like, tape or whatever down and then paint and then take it off. And I can't remember what it's called. It's like something relief, or I don't know. But anyway, she made this for me, special. And there was a note about how she likes doing art with me. And so that really touched me. And then I made her put her initials on it because she hadn't signed it. And I'm like, Reagan, you're supposed to sign your artwork. So I think I'm going to put it, yeah, I see a good place to put it so that I can see it every day. But this just means so much to me that she did this, and it's, like, really cute. And yeah, so I was very happy about this. It's kind of textured. She, like, did, like, kind of blobby, like, texturing on it, which is really kind of cool. So she's getting into painting a little bit, and, you know, she pulled out her cross stitch yesterday, and we looked at it, and she hasn't worked on it since we went to Arizona, and neither one of us could figure out where she was on the pattern, and she kind of got frustrated with it and was like, can I do diamond painting instead? And I'm like, you can do whatever you want, you know, that's fine. So that's when she pulled out the diamond paintings that I had given her, and she worked on that for a little while. But yeah, so it's funny because her mom says, like, you know, that's my role, is, like, I'm the arts and crafts aunt. So when they want something arty done, they call me, or they want, you know, so, you know, a shirt mended or something like that. Like, Aunt Karla can do that for you. So I'm the arts and crafts aunt now. And so I teach them how to do that kind of stuff, and tie-dye, and, you know, all the arty stuff that I get involved in. So, yeah, so I got this from her. Isn't that special? It's so special. Anyway, and then, okay, so we had a wonderful dinner. My brother made surf and turf, and he was planning on doing it all on his barbecue grill. And he admitted that the grill was perhaps not as clean as he should have left it last time after he made hamburgers. So he turned the grill on, and he went back inside, and he went out to go check on it, and he comes in, he's like, do we have a fire extinguisher? And I mean, he was that blasé about it. And my sister was like, are you kidding? And he's like, no, the barbecue's on fire. And I look out, and it was like, so, you know, a couple buckets of water, and it was fine. But it was just, you know, on the back end of it, it was actually kind of humorous. So then he had to figure out how he was going to cook the stuff because their oven isn't working and they're moving, so it's not worth it to talk to the landlord about it because the oven is just not heating up. So, but he ended up steaming the lobster tails and doing the steaks in pans, and it was delicious. It was a delicious dinner. They used the Instapot to make the side dish, and he showed me how it worked and everything. So we had a really great dinner, and then after dinner we were playing some card games with the kids, and then Stacy was like, all of a sudden she's like, oh, it's my boss, and I have to go take this upstairs, and and it was just kind of weird. She was up there for a little bit of time, and I wasn't even thinking about it. My brother and I were chatting. I was sending thank you messages to everybody who had sent me birthday messages on Facebook and stuff like that. And but Erin kept saying she'll be down soon. Even if she still has to work, she'll bring her computer down and be with us so we can do cake and stuff. And I wasn't even thinking about it. And she comes back down and she puts the computer in the middle of the table, and they had set up a Zoom surprise birthday party for me. And so 5 or 6 of my friends from my friends who are in Pittsburgh were there. I mean, it was 11:30, and so Tracy was there, and Jason, who he usually goes to bed early, so he was like, I'm up for you. And my stepdaughter was on, and a couple other friends, and then there was a couple other friends that were having trouble getting in, but yeah, so they had, and my uncle in the San Francisco area, who I haven't seen him, since Arizona. Yeah, so he was on, and then his daughter, my cousin, and her kids, because I guess they had been staying with him. They were having work done on their house or something. So they were sitting out in their backyard, and they were on Zoom, and it was just really cool. So they all sang happy birthday to me, and I got my cake, and then Stacy had set up a trivia game. What's it called? I don't know. There's an app that you can actually create trivia games, and so she did a trivia game, a 60s trivia game, and I'm like, it's because I was born in the 60s, not because I'm in my 60s. We made that clear, but it was all questions about stuff that happened in the 60s, and there's 25 questions, and we played that game. It was really fun. It was just so creative of her to even think of doing that, and I was 100% surprised. It was really fun and nice. So that was a while, and then after that I stayed for another hour or so, and I went home around 10, and the kids were like, you don't have to go home, you can stay up on the couch, you can stay here. And I'm like, okay, I'm not living with you guys, I'm just visiting. And I said my cat didn't get dinner yet tonight. I'm sure he's not going to be happy if I didn't go home and feed him. So anyway, all this to say, I had a very nice birthday, full of the best people that I know, and yeah, so it was a nice way to turn the clock to my next year. Okay. Oh, the other exciting thing that happened this week, which I'm starting to get all sweaty, you guys. I don't think I mentioned this before. Maybe I did. But, so Becca from Sambre Stitches, if you're not watching her, then go ahead, go over there, because, she has very fun floss tubes to watch. She does a lot of really patriotic stitching that's beautiful. So she does different kinds of stuff than I do, but she just is very prolific, and it's lovely. Anyway, she started doing this interview with a FlossTuber series, and I think I don't know how she got the idea. She just started doing it, and she's interviewed some of the big names, in the FlossTube community. But I kind of met her. She has a Zoom meetup that she started because of coronavirus and everybody being at home, and I kind of got, I'd heard about it, and then finally I applied, I guess, to be a part of the group, because it started with her group in the Pacific Northwest, and then because it was on Zoom, it expanded, and it got to the point where she actually had to cut it off, I think. They're not doing the Zoom meetings as regularly now, and they're kind of, sometimes I can get on, sometimes I can't, depends on what time of day and what day that they have them. But anyway, I met her through that kind of, face-to-face met, however whatever word is used now in this Zoom COVID world where we're meeting people that we still really haven't met. And she asked me to do the interview, one of her interviews, which was just like, I was so honored. And so anyway, we did the interview this week. It was really fun to do. And I think it's going to go up on the 6th is what she said. So keep an eye out for that. I think the 6th is a Sunday as well. So I'll tell you guys. I'll remind you when it comes closer. But yeah, so I'm in the cool group of people who were interviewed by Becca. So that was really fun. Okay, I think that's all of my preamble today, and I can get to my stitching. I actually have an FFO, you guys. I know, it's shocking because the last 6 months, everything I've finished, I've stuck in a bag, and I haven't FFO'd anything. But I finally FFO'd, and there's a bug on it. How rude. Get off. The Blue Flowers Gathering Honey. So I put it in this kind of green, I think this is Capiz shell is what it's called. I don't know. But anyway, it's a green shell frame. And, okay, so I screwed up a little bit on this, you guys. I had a piece of foam board, and like I kept cutting it and it didn't fit. And so then I cut it and I thought, oh, it's going to fit fine. And I pinned my piece to it. And then put it in, and it was like way too short. So I had to unpin it. But what had happened was I trimmed it on this side, and I trimmed it too close. So then when I went to go put it, and what I did is I used the idea from Erin Two Martini Stitcher. She had showed a couple things that she'd done, and what she had said is that she actually used the glass from the frame as the backing board or whatever for the piece because she knew it fit exactly, and I thought that was brilliant. So I did that, and I actually just used like duct tape to tape it on because I didn't have stitchery tape yet, and I didn't feel like waiting because I was in the mood to actually put it in here. So I did that, but because I had trimmed it too close, it wasn't really even. There was like more of a gap on this side. So I thought I would like put a little bit of a ribbon to kind of, I don't know, fill in the gap, make it look more even. And then I have this little drop doodad thing that Erin sent me that she did a bee thing because I was doing this this piece because she sent it for like Valentine's Day, and I was doing this piece for my Be Your Own Valentine sale, so that's why she did a bee, and I thought that would be great to actually just tie it on there, and I think it looks really pretty. I love this frame, and even though I think I got it even on the top and bottom really well, and it was just that it was a little bit, there's more space on this side than this side, so I think the ribbon takes care of that just fine. So now I just have to figure out where I'm gonna put this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that. But I actually got an FFO, and I have a finish. So I finished my September year of celebrations. I didn't put the ruler, I didn't put the ABC, and I changed the word to crisp. And it's a little off center, but you know what, I was like done with this project. In my mind it was like I just want to get finished, get it done. So actually my year of celebrations is completed 100% finished because I started it, the first one I did was October, so, and I think I did that last September. I started it, so yeah, it's taken a year because I've done like one a month approximately, and I'm excited. So that pattern is going to go kind of in my bag that I'm holding on to until my next, I don't know, my next milestone, whatever milestone sounds important to me, then I'll give away a bunch more charts and stuff. But I'm excited to get this done. Okay, so that was my finishes. I didn't start anything new this week. So let's see, whips I worked on. I brought Star Trek with me yesterday. I didn't even take it off the hoop. Yeah, I brought this with me yesterday because I was hanging out with my brother, and I thought it would be nice to show him my progress, which isn't huge progress, but because actually I don't think I'd ever showed it to him in person. I showed him what I was going to do, and and everything, but he hadn't seen the actual real piece. So for those of you that are newer, if I hadn't said welcome at the beginning of this video, if you're new to this channel, then welcome. I don't know what I was thinking. I was getting into my birthday stuff, I guess. So I have 4 patterns actually that I got that are the 4 Star Trek casts. So this is the original series, but actually on the pattern this one just said Star Trek, but I put the Star Trek on top and then I put the original series, so I kind of, you know, charted that based off of all the other letters. But then underneath is going to go Next Generation and then Voyager and then, or Deep Space Nine and then Voyager. So I got a little bit more done on this. I had done the eyes differently than the way they were charted. I did them with French knots originally because I didn't like the way they were charted. And when I pulled this out, I think I pulled it out Friday night to work on it as well. And I didn't like the way the French charts were laying due to my non-expertise in doing them. Part of the problem is that like each person, like their eyes would be like different sizes and it made it look goofy. So I pulled out all the French knots and I put beads in instead, which I like better. And so I finished Ohura and the back stitching. Yeah, I got all the back stitching done on these. And then yesterday I finished filling in his shirt and started over here on these pants. There's one more character that goes here, and then I can move on to the next series. And then this is going to just be a big kind of pillow for my brother. But as I've said to him and to anybody that I'm doing a project for, like, no promises as to when it gets done. It will get done. I work on things fairly steadily, but not like exclusively, so it tends to take me a little bit of time. Okay, so I worked on that this week, and then I worked on this pattern for my sister-in-law. This is from Love for Cross Stitch on Etsy. And it's this home, well, it says this home runs on cuddles and caffeine. But I'm changing it, or I have changed it to say this mom instead of this home. So I got the top was done. So what I worked on this week is I did this little flourish thing, and then the R was already there, but I started on the U. And I'm doing this is Aida that I dyed, and then the colors I'm just using, I have a bunch of DMC different variegated flosses that I got, you know, I think when I first started stitching I got them in the eBay purchase that I did, and one or two of them I purchased. One's a leftover one from the cat pillow that I did for my mom, and then I got another variegated floss for a project that I was going to do for myself that I ended up not doing. So anyway, that's that one. Oh, okay. And then I worked on my mermaids. These are Shannon and Christine mermaids. So last week I had this one completed. I showed you that. And then I did her sister. So she's still missing like the seaweed and the little like circle-y things, little like bubbles, and these extra details. But the mermaid herself is completed. So I don't know which one I'm going to work on next. If I'm going to go over here or do one of the bottom ones. Probably one of the side ones first. But so I'm just enjoying this so much, the way this is coming out. This one has the bugle bead crown, so a couple of them have those. I haven't decided yet, but I thought that I might turn this into a pillow and give it to Reagan, because she's getting, you know, the loft, and she's kind of doing a whole like beachy well, not so much mermaid, but beachy and shells and that kind of thing. And I thought this might make a really nice pillow for her bed or something like that. So I haven't decided yet, because I really love the mermaids myself, but I can always stitch another one for myself, you know. I mean, especially because they're all separate, so I can move them around however I want. Or I can, you know, make 3 instead of 8 or whatever, you know. So that's in the back of my head. I might, depending on how long it takes for me to do this, because her birthday, you know, Hanukkah's in December, her birthday's the very end of December, so if it's done by those dates, then yeah, it might be a gift for her. Not that it can't be a gift for her in the middle of the year too, but I'm thinking about doing that. And then the last whip I worked on was my Mirabilia, Ella the Frog Princess. And so I got a lot more done over here. This is actually the edge right there. So that's as far as it goes over on the side. So the page that I'm working on, I started kind of at the bottom of it, and it's the page that has, you know, the torso, the skin, and everything. But I'm thinking that I might just put that page away and go over to this page, or go down, because just ease of stitching, so that I think when I do the torso, I'm going to want to move the fabric down a bit, just to make it easier to stitch. But yeah, so I got a lot done in this flower area. So I am enjoying that one a lot as well. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it as far as my stitching this week. I did have a couple days. There was one day when, actually I think there were 2 days when I didn't stitch. One, I fell asleep early, or I took a nap, and then I woke up and I didn't feel like doing anything. And then there was another day I felt like reading. I was like getting into a book I've read before, you know, the Stephanie Plum series. I watched the movie while I was stitching like the night before, and that made me want to reread the books, because I've read up through I think 20, and I think it's on 24 now. But this is how weird I am. When there's been a big gap between me reading a series, I tend to go back to the beginning and read the series all over again to get to the ones that I haven't read yet. I enjoy doing things that way. So I was reading, and I felt like reading, you know. Sometimes that happens, and I can't stitch and read at the same time, obviously. So yeah, so I had one evening where I just was reading a book. I did get a small haul this week. I did do an eBay purchase. You know me, I go and I order fabric on eBay, and I don't order exciting fabric. I order very boring weight or ecru, very inexpensive fabric. So that's what I did. I got another piece of 28 count even weave, because I used one of my pieces of 28 count even weave to dye the fabric for the mermaids. So I wanted a piece to replace that. Actually, I've gotten 2 pieces to replace it, because I actually am liking this fabric, the 28 count even weave. If I could find it in like 32, I think that would make me even happier. But I still like the 28 count. And then I got an 18 count Aida, a Hardanger, and then this bag is a bunch of stuff. But it's all like 18 count, but they're smaller pieces. I think they're cut into. And I got all that for, I don't know, less than $10. And then at the same time, the same seller had this little thing for inexpensive. And I thought it was worth it, because there's like 30 flosses in here. I think it was $8. So there's 30 flosses. And this little floss holder, which I thought was cute, and I do use this kind of thing, so I figured, okay. So I think I was $20 to this seller, and I got all the fabric and then these random DMC, and yeah, so I get to spend today putting these away, which I actually kind of think is fun, and I have more fabric to dye. So yeah, that's good. As far as some plans, immediate plans for today, I don't know. I think I want to pull out either Lavender Roses or Catnap Faye, my 2 full coverage quick stitches, and do one of those today, because I feel like I haven't given them any love. I haven't given them any love since May. So yeah, so I feel like I need to work on one of those today for a couple hours at least, and see how much progress I can make. I don't know which one yet. I'm going to pull them both out and see which one is calling to me. And then, yeah, I mean, rest of August is just to continue working on the stuff that I've worked on, trying to get, you know, if I have any whips that I can get done, get off my plate, so that I feel a little bit more comfortable with starting the couple projects I want to start in September. And then I think maybe that's going to be it for the year as far as starting new things. I mean, that's never going to be set in stone, because, you know, I'm going to come up with other stuff. I mean, I finished my monthly project, so I've been talking about wanting to start a seasonal project, so I might do that, but I might wait and do that next year, start it next year, only because, as I said, I want to get my whips down. I'm just at that point where I'm on the edge of being uncomfortable with how many I have, and I'm not, I know there's a lot of people that they're like, if it never gets finished, it never gets finished, you know. I'm not like that. If I start it, I intend to finish it, and, you know, unless for some reason I don't like it, and so I start to get into that uncomfortable mode where it's like there's just I have a few too many whips. Saying that, I'm going to start this in September, which I showed you last week. This is the Jardin Privé Sampler au Chat, so the cat sampler, and I'm going to use the silky thread, and I picked fabric for it out of my stash. I think this is one of those pieces that I got from 123 Stitch because it was just such a great, it was on sale, and so I didn't have any plans for it, but I thought it would look nice. So it's a 20 count Aida in ice blue. The only thing that changed is when I was looking at the 2 sulkies, I had said that I was going to do the main body in this one, and then I was going to do the cats in the darker one, and I think that I like the darker one better on the blue fabric, so I'm going to do the main color as this one, and then I don't know what I'm going to do in the cat. I do have this one, which would be like a huge contrast, or I might just get like a solid color. I keep holding this behind the thing so you can't see. I might just get a solid color that goes with the purple, but I don't know. That I haven't totally decided on, but I did decide on the fabric. And I think the silky will work on 20 count. I mean, I know I've seen people work on it on 18 count, so I can't imagine it would be that awful. If it is, then I'll have to do something else. I'll have to pick a different fabric. I can dye something that I have. But for now, this is my choice. If you guys have ever worked with the silky and you have advice on whether or not it will work on a 20 count Aida, then let me know. Yeah, because if a bunch of people tell me it's going to be too hard to get through, or the stitches aren't going to lay nice or something like that, then maybe I'll pick out an 18 count piece of Aida that I have, if I have one that's big enough, and just dye it solid. Yeah. So let me know about that if you have any silky advice. So I think that that's about it for me today, you guys. Actually, this has turned out to be kind of a shorter video than I normally do, which means I'm probably going to get off here and realize that I forgot to say something that I wanted to say. Who knows? But anyway, I hope you guys have a great week coming up. As a reminder, next Friday I'm having my tooth pulled, so I'm assuming I'm not going to have too much trouble past that first day. I mean, I know I'm going to be in pain on Friday when I get it done, but I don't think it's going to affect my ability to do a video on Sunday. If for some reason I am not feeling well, I will put it in a community post or something, but I don't think it's going to be anything that I need to worry about, right? So anyway, hopefully none of you guys have to have anything horrible done like that next week. So have a good week. If you are someplace where the weather is a little bit uncomfortable, too hot for your liking, stay inside, stay cool. I feel so bad. My friend sent me last Monday. I got flowers at work from Tracy, my best friend, which was the sweetest thing, right? And I left him at work all week because, you know, I'm there all day and, you know, so I could look at them. And I brought him home Friday and I was on a Zoom call with her and my other friends on Friday night and I showed her and she's like, oh my God, they're still alive. They look great. And I'm like, yeah, they're like not wilty at all. Well, of course, they were in my apartment all day yesterday and there was no air conditioning because I wasn't home and they are looking really droopy today. So, yeah, I don't think that they're going to last much longer. One day in an apartment in 100 and something degree temperatures with no heat, with no air conditioning, and the flowers are not happy. But they lasted a nice long week. I have a happy birthday balloon that's, you know, still nice and full. So, yeah, so that'll stick around for a little while to make me feel good next week. But anyway, so if you're dealing with the hot weather, stay cool, eat popsicles. That's what I do. And have a great Stitchy week. So remember to always be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye, everybody.